Here we are at my front page. You can see that we have this box here, which we will call a container. A container allows you to have different kinds of content, so we can see that there are different options here which we could click on to be able to include onto our page. If you see up here, this bit is very significant. If we click onto here, it switches to a preview of how the page looks at the moment. We can see that there is no content on the page because I haven't created anything. If I click onto the edit option up here again, you can see that I am going to switch views. So from previewing what the students see, and I can come back to creating the content. You can see that there are plus signs on the perimeter. As it suggests, it inserts a new container. So if I click on the plus, it creates another container. The old way of creating websites is through using frames and tables. We're using this method within Frunter to be able to position things on different parts or positions of the page. We're going to create some text, but before we do that, any content that we create in Frunter is going to be restricted in the same way as a web page. The length of our laptops, if I go to right-click properties, and I'll show you what I mean. We have a screen resolution of 1024 pixels in width, and then the height is 768 pixels. This becomes problematic if at home you have a computer which is more powerful and you want to use it because it's got a faster connection. And it could be that the resolution in actual fact is a lot larger, which is actually longer than the settings which are potentially used by the students. So make sure that you have a setting of 1024 by 768, and any content that we now create in Frunter will not get inadvertently cut off, or we have to use additional scroll bars to be able to navigate through pages. Now on to the text. If I go to the Insert Text and click onto it, I come to the text editor. So here, to combat the earlier problem I talked about, I'm going to put in a table. I'm going to make it one row, one column, and I'm going to make this a width of 1024 pixels. Now here, you can choose to have a border. In my case, I'm going to switch off that border, and I'm going to center it. So that means any table that I create will be in the center of this page and not to one side. So I press OK, and there's my table. It's in dotted lines to indicate that there is a table, but it won't actually show in the front page where I've created this. So now I'm just going to click onto the center, and I'm going to put in Mr. Arders space. I can then use the text, change the font if I wanted to for students, increase its size, change the color, all the normal things you would do like in Microsoft Word. So I have some text there. I can also specifically click on the table, right-click, and go to the table properties. If I needed to make any changes, I could have changed the border, and let's change that to 1, and press OK, and now you can see that there's a border there. If I want to change the background color of the table, I can go right-click, and I'm going to go to the cell properties, because within the table there is a cell, and with that cell we change its properties, and with its properties we change the background color. So I'm going to select a color, something to go with the red, so maybe just a light yellow, and then I press OK, and OK again, and there's a yellow, and there's some red text. I'm going to just change it to a dark blue. Once I'm happy with the changes, I can click on to save, and here is my text. If I want to check the preview of it and see how my page is coming along, once again click on the edit symbol, and it will show you it in the preview mode.